Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into a topic that might seem mundane at first glance, but is actually packed with history, culture, and even a bit of dramaze. We're talking about salt. You know, the stuff you sprinkle on your fries? But did you know that salt was once so valuable that wars were fought over it? I mean, can you imagine that? People literally went to battle for something we now take for granted. It's fascinating.
Wait. So you're telling me that salt was like a currency? That's wild. I mean, I can't even imagine fighting over something that's just sitting on my kitchen counter. But how did they even figure out that salt was valuable? Did they just taste it and go, wow, this is amazing? Or what?
Exactly. It's believed that the Chinese were among the first to boil seawater to extract salt. They realized it could preserve food, which was a game changer back then. Imagine having a way to keep your food from spoiling. So, when the price of salt went up, they capitalized on it. It was like a gold rush, but for salt.
That's so interesting. So it was like a gold rush for salt? But what about the Celts? Did they have any cool salt traditions or something?
And in Europe, the Celts used salt as a foundation for their culture and trade. The Romans even manipulated salt prices to control the populace. If people were getting restless, they'd lower the price of salt to keep them happy. It's like a historical version of a stimulus check.
Oh wow, that's so clever. So it was like a form of social control? But what about the Vikings? I've heard they were pretty resourceful. Did they use salt for anything special?
Absolutely! The Vikings used salt primarily for preserving fish. They would salt the fish to keep it from spoiling during long voyages. It was essential for their survival. You see, salt was not just a seasoning, it was a lifeline.
That's so cool. So they were like salting their fish for survival? But what about Gandhi? I've heard he did something with salt too.
And speaking of lifelines, let's talk about Gandhi and the Salt March. He led a movement against British salt laws, which is a perfect example of how salt has been intertwined with social justice. It's incredible how something so simple could spark such significant change.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea. So salt was like a symbol of resistance? That's so powerful. But what about today? Do people still care about salt as much as they did back then?
Great question. Today, while we don't see salt as a luxury, it still holds cultural significance in many religions and traditions. In Afghanistan, there are 14 salt mines, and in Pakistan's Punjab, the Hura salt mine is one of the oldest in Asia. It even has a salt city that attracts tourists.
That's so fascinating. So it's still a big deal in some places, but do you think we'll ever see a resurgence in salt's value? Like, could it become trendy again or something?
You never know. Trends come and go, and with the rise of artisanal salts and health trends, who knows? Salt might just make a comeback in a big way.
That would be so wild. I can just picture people fighting over fancy salt at the farmer's market. Laughs. But what kind of artisanal salts are we talking about?
Oh, there are so many! From Himalayan pink salt to smoked sea salt, each has its unique flavor and uses. It's like a whole new world of salt out there.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I had no idea there were so many types. Sigh. I guess I need to step up my salt game.